Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Sofian Fajar alim. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I will give answer about my mid test for ESP. Okay. For the question one, explain what is ESP in brief. ESP is English for specific purpose. It is generally interpreted as an approach to learning English based on the goals or needs of the learner. And question number two, write three main reasons to emergence of ESP. My answer is there are three main reasons for origin of ESP. And number one, demands of a brave new world. Number two, a revolution in linguistics. And number three, focus on the learner. Okay, next question. Question number three, elaborate for characteristic of ESP. Okay. A. ESP is specifically designed to meet the special needs of students. And B. ESP can use in certain teaching situation, utilizing the methodologies and activities that underlie the disciplines itself. And C. ESP is centered on language, grammar, lexis, registers, skill, discourses, and genres that are appropriate to the activity. And the D, most ESP courses assume basic knowledge of language system, but can be used with beginners. Next, question number 4. Explain the procedure of need analysis in ESP. Okay, my answer is the first, learner wants, and second, learner's personal view about their needs. Also, they like to identify the learner's lack or the gap existing between the target proficiency and the current proficiency of the learner. And third, learning needs refer to the background linguistic knowledge the learner needs to have in order to master the further abilities he will need to perform in the target situation. And the next question number 5, write for difference characteristic between EGP and ESP. Okay, uh, ESP for the first. ESP focus on training as the English is intended to be used in specific vocational context. Selection of appropriate content is easier. And EGP is focused on the English language in primary and secondary school education. Course content is more difficult to select since the future English needs of the learner are hard to predict. And number 2, ESP concentrates more on language in context than on teaching grammar and language structures. And EGP is to achieve a high standard of everyday English communication skill. And the 3, ESP teacher is basically involved in a training operation, equipping the learners with a restricted competence to cope with defined tasks. And EGP teacher on the contrary is involved in an educational operation, equipping learners with a general capacity to cope with undefined eventualities in future. And the 4, ESP is a need analysis that determine which language skill are most needed by the student, and the syllabus is designed accordingly. And the ESP course content is more difficult to select since the future English needs of the learner are hard to predict. Okay, next question number 6. Explain briefly three approaches to need analysis. Okay, for the first A, necessity. The term necessities is most essential to identify the target needs for an ESP syllabus. And in ESP, usually necessities are the category of needs determined by demands of target situation. That is what the learner has now in order to function effectively in the target situation. And the B, lacks. The second component of the target needs is to identify the lack of learner. To specify the lacks, we first evaluate the level of language proficiency they have already had. Once we can have an idea, we can evaluate how far they need to proceed to fulfill the necessities mentioned above. One target situation necessity might be to answer the script in correct English. And C, wants. The third component of analyzing needs is wants. Learner may have a clear conception of necessities of target situation. They will definitely have a view about their lack, but it it is not impossible uh, that the learner will have their own views, and the learner views may conflict with perception of other interested parties like the ESP practitioner sponsors. And this means that for designing a course, it is necessary to listen and analyze the option of the learner along with the other related option. Okay, and question number 7. Why need analysis is important in ESP? Okay, my answer is need analysis is very important in ESP because ESP is for a specific purpose, because usually refers to teaching English to students or people who are already working with reference to the vocabulary and certain skills they need. So, needs analysis is very important, and so that what is needed is right on target. Okay, I think in this I think my video is enough. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.